Did you know the word bear is actually the result of ancient censorship? Back in the day, the ancestor of English actually had a different word for bear that everybody just randomly stopped using. So what's the big deal? That's not necessarily censorship, like they might have just borrowed a new word that they liked. Except they didn't borrow a new word. They descriptively came up with a new word for bear and stopped using the old one. So the English word bear is actually a cognate with the word brown, and it originally came from a word that meant something like brown one. But in English's ancestor, Proto-Indo-European, the word was like hrtkios, and that became ursus in Latin and then osso in Spanish. But as Proto-Indo-European evolved into English, one of the intermediate forms, Proto-Germanic, did the whole brown one thing. They just didn't want to say hrtkios. Okay, but that's still not necessarily censorship, right? Like maybe there's just a meme that got popular to call them the brown ones. Except a similar thing happened in a different Indo-European branch, the Balto-Slavic languages. Instead of calling them brown ones, they would call them honey eaters. And there wasn't really a known phonetic reason for either of these replacements. They both just kind of appeared to not want to say the original word for bear. So why would they feel the need to come up with these euphemisms? One theory is that in those groups, the word for bear became like a taboo. Like Voldemort, you don't want to say it because it's superstition. So if you pulled up to a party and you were like, I'm so hungry I could eat a hrtkios, people would be like, dude, what the f? So then the euphemisms got popular over time, and then eventually people forgot that they were euphemisms. This is the kind of thing that the linguist Steven Pinker called the euphemistic treadmill. You see this with terms for disabilities a lot. For instance, the terms mad, insane, and idiot all used to be relatively neutral terms to refer to somebody with a mental disability. But then over time, people would either use these in mean ways or try to avoid them, so they eventually gained a negative connotation. And then they were replaced with new words, some of which also gained negative connotations. But just like with the word bear, people eventually forgot that they were replacement words.